the morning star and the evening star candlestick pattern. They are very, very simple and it's always happen in the chart every day. It's one of the most common candlestick pattern you can see on your chart all the time. So now let's dive into it. Yeah, amazing trader, welcome back to the channel. This is Trade with JFX. In case you just come to this for the first time, you want to smash that subscribe button, drop a like, and don't forget to turn on notification bell so you just stay alerted when I drop some content like this. I'm going to be showing you on a live chart how effective and how you can actually use it to trade in alignment with the SMC trading strategy. Same thing as the evening star. We have two type of morning star as at the same time we have two type of evening star. All right. So this is the first morning star. This one is very, very common. You actually see this almost everywhere. And this evening star as well is very, very common. You see it almost everywhere. This morning star, what it does is what? So let's say price was selling, you'll be seeing something like this. And all of a sudden you saw this. So what signifies to you that what trend is changing? One, and it's what is also happened on a very key area like this. So this kind of strategy, how do you want to get in the trade? You just what use this as an order block. The close of this sell candle, I mean the open. This was the open of this sell candle, and this is the close. So you mark from the open, then you make sure you add this in the sell candle that is there as well. Cover all the wicks and mark it like this. Now this is how you want to use it. So after you have marked out the zone like this, so price continue buying, moving like this. Price will later come back here. This is where you want to set your pending order, because I told you earlier it's just a signal. You don't just see it and get into the trade. So you want to wait for price to go and come back into this area, then take a buy from there. So let's say this was where price was coming from, and you can what just take a buy position all the way to that point, which is a which of to two. You can have more than that as well, depending on what you're trading. All right. So this is how you use the morning star. Same thing as the evening star too as well. So you just want to mark out this whole other block from here, then to the open of this buy candle. For a buy candle, this is the open, so you mark it out like this. Then you set the pending order here, sell here, then you put it here, you put your stop loss here, then what's the target all the way down there. This is how you actually use the morning star and the evening star candlestick pattern. So I'm going to delete this now. No, just excuse me. So I'm going to be showing you the second example of the morning star and the evening star candlestick pattern, which is also very, it's just like this, but it's a little bit different on how you use it to trade your entry. All right. So I'm just going to show you this example, the example to as well. So the second example is going to be this. I'm going to be using this as the second example. So I'm going to zoom out this. So this is actually the what a morning star. You can see this morning star. But in this scenario here, what we see here is that this candle here didn't engulf this red candle, not close above it. Let's say we now have, so I'm just going to make a copy of this guy. So let's say we now have one other candle now end up closing above it like this, right? Now we completely engulfed it. So like about two candles or three candles now completely engulfed about above it. So in this kind of scenario, how you want to take your entry is different from the way we took our entry on this one and as well of this one. So how you want to take your entry on this one is you only need to mark this little indicator candle. That's the only thing you need for this one. From the weeks here to the weeks here, that's only where you need to mark. All right. Then you now wait for price to what return into it. Let's say when price was here. So let's say when price was here, went like this, then allow price to what start trading back into it. Tap you in, set a pending order here, then you what have your target. So you can see this slightly different between it. So if you see an engulfing candle engulfing the red, so you just need to use this one as your entry. But if you see that the green candle didn't engulf this red, not engulf this red completely, it was about two or three candles that end up engulfing it. Just mark another block, just mark a pending order. Your price will always trade back into it and tap you in and go in your direction. I'm actually going to be showing you this in the live chat. So you will actually see these two examples, both this one that is here and this one. You're going to see them on the live chat. So same thing goes for this one too as well. So if you have something like this red was like this, all right, then we had another red now closing below it. So let's say this was what we saw. So now we had about two candle closing below it, right? This means a change in state of delivery, which is telling you that from a bullish move we are now switching to a bearish move. So this kind of scenario, since this first one didn't engulf below it, so what you want to do is what you want to wait for price to pull back and put your stop loss just above that zone a little bit. Target was wherever you're targeting, to maybe 1 to 5, 1 to 3, 1 to whatever you're targeting. So this is actually how I trade this morning star and this evening star candlestick pattern. The one that's completely engulfed with this way trade it, the one that not completely engulfed this way trade it. So let me just bring them together. So I'm going to be showing you more example in the live chat. So now let's go into the live chat and let me show you in the live chat. All right, we're going to be trading inside of this channel. So we have this channel playing here. We have the support here. The down one is support. Then we have the upper one as the resistance. So on the support phase here, at the time we get in the chart, price was here. All right, price was here. And look at this first point we had here. This was the first thing we had the morning star candlestick pattern here. But if you look at this one did not engulf above this guy. We have to take an extra candle to close above it. And what's happened? What I tell you when you see something like this is where you are interested. Just put A or just use it as the other block trader like this, pending order above here, boom, and stop loss just below here. Very, very simple. This strategy is not complicated. So if you actually understand money stack industry pattern and everything, and where are we targeting? We just want to target the upper bound of this channel because we know you are trading a channel. So we just put it here and let's just say I put it at this back spot. So and you see we have a issue of 1 to 5.5 on that one, and that was the 40p. So we have a first trade. Now price traded to this upper part of this channel, and what you see that is happening here, we had an evening star that formed here. Very simple. I explained this thing very simple. You will see that look at this evening star. This red candle was engulfed this green candle, engulfed it completely. This this my own color red candle is the bearish one, and this green one is the bullish one. So this blue one is the bullish one. So I'm going to use the blue and red as a showcase here. So we have this red engulfing this blue candle, which is telling you that trend is about to change. So we had a very clear change instead of leaving. And what I tell you when you see it engulfing like this, you just want to mark from this eye to the open of this candle here and put it like this. So this is how you want to have your entry. So just put it like this. That's how we want to do that. From this eye here all the way here, this is what we want to do. And once we what put in our sell order here, you can see price came back and tap into it, and we just put our stop loss there. Very nice. Then when we are targeting, let's say the down chamber of this channel, which is a risk reward of 1 to 2, we are targeting back here. At least any trade you are going for, the minimum risk reward our advice is to go for is a risk reward of 1 to 2. And what happened here, we had a 40p. And this was even where we break out of this channel. So this was where we break out of this channel. This channel, I actually dropped the signal in my group. So if you're not actually in my group, this particular signal you're seeing here now that is currently playing out, I dropped this particular trade on my group, and this trade is still the morning star candlestick pattern, which I'm just still explaining here to you guys so you can see it's very, very simple here. Let me just zoom out for you. So actually at this point price was retracing. I would never add edge here. I was expecting it to retrace all the way to this point, but immediately I saw this morning star candlestick pattern that form. I mean the evening star candlestick pattern that form. Those it was an evening, but you see that I didn't engulf it. Then we didn't engulf it. But what I just did was since it didn't engulf it, so like I explained, once you see that I couldn't engulf it completely, then this is what you want to put your point in order. So that was where you want to put your point in order, and that was exactly. But this one now, I had a head and shoulder pattern playing out on the lower time frame. So I was like, this my pending that was to be here. But at the time I made this price was here. So I just enter right from there. Price was I just enter there, then put my stop loss in the middle of this from this zone to this zone. I just put it in the middle. I don't need to put it all the way to this eye because the reason why I didn't put it all the way to this eye because I also combined it with another strategy, which is the head and shoulders pattern. Check on my channel. Also, I've also explained how you can trade this head and shoulder pattern profitably. So it's very simple. So I actually took this trade on the 15 minutes time frame. So if I go to the 15 minutes time frame straight away, so you can see we had a left shoulder here, we had a red, and we have the right shoulder. All right, the right shoulder. And immediately I see this rejection candle again, then this one closing below it. I just took the trade right from there. Confirmation here, this is another one here. So you can see this is a evening star candlestick pattern. And please, anytime you want to trade this strategy, make sure it's happening on the zone. So you can see we had a lot of consolidation here, which is telling me that this zone is very valid. And what happened again, we had another consolidation at this bottom. So which is telling me that price is in a range or in a range. So first thing first, that's what you want to very, very sure of. Make sure you always take note of all these things. If you're analyzing, make sure you analyze and check everything that is happening on that particular chart, on that chart. All right. So now looking at this evening star candlestick pattern, we have again Govi candle, we have an decision candle. On the daily time frame, we had an decision candle. Then we had one. This actually double indecision candle. Then we had one here. So and this after this double indecision candle, this double indecision candle is actually called a another candlestick pattern, which I'm also be talking about on my channel very soon. So let's just not derive from the topic. All right. So we have this didn't close below it, then we have this again closing below it. So this was where we have what change instead of delivery. Very fine. So and then we had this. If you are to enter this trade, we're just going to mark out the whole of this guy alone. That's what we need. That's what we need. That's what we need. That is what we need. That is what we need. And you see what afterward price went all the way below, close. It came over there, but unfortunately, it didn't tap us in and left. And I knew the reason why I never tap us in was because of this double candlestick pattern that was there. So that was actually a nice strategy on its own. So, but notwithstanding, what I'm trying to explain is this even start candlestick pattern is a very valid one. Anytime you see price tap into it, you should actually respect it. Yes. Like for example, now this one, so we add on that one. Yes, this was an evening star. So do you see this is why I like one thing about trading is it didn't give us the entry here, right? But again, it repeated the same pattern. But this time around, this one actually was same base with it. So if you want to mark this one, since it's same base, it didn't enclose below it. It's still the same weeks we are going to mark, all right? So from here to here on daily time frame. So and what you see here, this green candle return there, this blue candle return there, tapped into it, then left. So in this kind of situation here now, this is a daily time frame. I have a lot of VIX gathering here. So in this kind of situation, if I want to let me just do this one. If I want to trade this, I don't trade on daily time frame, so I can go all the way to 1 hour, 2 hours time frame, and come and make that stop loss very small because I know price is going to do magic on the lower time frame. So this was the area we're talking about there. So this was the area. So if you see marked out, so you can see on the lower time frame, I've seen that it's a evening star that's forming on the on the daily time frame, right? But here coming to the 2 hours time frame, I will tell you what I'm going to be able to modify it to be very small, right? So very small. So what I'm going to do there first is what the whole of that range where price closed on that daily time frame was this low here, and you want to wait for our price to clear off this low. Once price clears off this low, look for the last order block that price left, which was this. So this is just a modification. This was this, and what you use this as your entry, put your stop loss here. That was how you can reduce the stop loss. And what happened here, I still use the same morning star to get in this trade from a daily time frame perspective. But now and that comes to the 2 hours time frame, then change my stop loss setting and everything using another candlestick pattern formation. So candlestick is actually one of the best thing you want to learn about forex trading because candlestick is the only thing that can make profitable. And for this kind of trade, this is actually where it's going to be my target. To be honest, and this my target this is what 126 and boom, I have a 40p on that one. So it's very simple. So if I have to show you morning star again, let's go again. We have it evening star. So actually evening star, that's what we're seeing. GPUD actually likes selling a lot, so I don't know for that here. So you can see it here. So that was the evening star I marked it out. So since this guy didn't engulf it, right? So I'm just going to be using this one as my PO high, as my PO high. Then I'm going to get in this trade for a short, pending order here, stop loss just above it a little bit, something like this. Then I'll be targeting this low that is there. And what's happened here, this kind of trade now will have been a break in trade. I can never take any stop loss on this trade because I'm going for a risk reward of 1 to 6 and the price moved a risk reward of 1 to 3. So that's half of my target. So my stop loss should never remain here. It should be on break even at that particular time. So and you could see price hits me out on the break even. So we had a very nice break even trade right over there. So let's just take for more for I think I've showed you the example of this trade I got in here. So if I actually go on the chart, you'll see how sweet and very beautiful this strategy is, this candlestick pattern is. But let's just take GBP AUD. So let me go to yes, we are familiar with. So let me just go to USD. We're going to have a lot of example there. GBP AUD like selling a lot, so may not. So I'm just going to go to 1 hour time frame. I would like using the 1 hour time frame, but 4 hours time frame. So I prefer that. So if you want to take this trade, make sure those candlestick pattern are happening on its own. That's a very important thing. They're happening on its own. So now look at this one here. Look at this here. Look at this here. Look at this here. Look at this one here. So now, first thing first, make sure it's happening on the zone, right? Is this on the zone? Yeah, it's on the zone because we have a breaker block that was here. This a reaction from a breaker block. So you can see there. So very nice one there. So now on this breaker block, we have this morning star here. This is a morning star, right? For a buy. We had this. But if you look at this, they didn't engulf it, didn't close above it. And what I say about any candlestick pattern, they didn't engulf about it. So you just want to use the only institutional candle that is there as a what as a POI. And wait for price. You see inducement, and price finally tapped into it. And when price tapped into it, so let's just have our entry. So we just set the pending order above that area. So we're just going to put our stop loss below that zone a little bit. So like I always tell you, always make sure you add few pips below it. So that's very important. So if you didn't have few pips below it now, that would have been a stop loss trade. So always add few pips below it. But even despite the fact, but for this kind of thing now, I could see that there's a lot of zone here, and this candlestick pattern is also here, which I already talked about on my channel. So I may just be more protective and just put my stop loss direct here because of this zone I also have here. Because price reacted from a breaker block, and if you want to use a breaker block as an entry trade, the stop loss is meant to go below that breaker block. So I might just put my stop loss below here. So which I'm still on the safer side. So sometimes you just have to check our price is reacting, check what price is doing before you decide on where to place stop loss for your target. So my first level target is just going to be this because what was the obvious eye I could see, which is a nice which word of 1 to 3. Then I might also have second targets, maybe each word of 1 to 5 or 8. So if you check most of my trade, I like going for 8, 7, 5. So that's my target. And I will have a full TP on this one. Boom. So let's go again. We could see that we had a demand zone here. So let's see if you have anything to stick pattern there. So let's check if we have a morning star there. So very good. So you can see we have very massive pull down. We have a candle go. It didn't engulf above it, right? Did not engulf above it. So what do you want to do? We want to mark this one out as a pure high. And we just get in the trade right about there for a buy. Yeah, we get in the trade here and we'll put your stop loss below here, PPs below it. Then what do you want to target again? We want to target this is the obvious eye I could see. So I'm targeting this eye. And let's see how price play out on this. We almost had a very nice stop loss here. So that's why you need to be very protective. So actually this one I didn't cover is finished. So this is it. And I put my stop loss below it. So you see, it was like just few pips away from this. I have some trade actually send the signal to my group like something like it's almost hitting stop loss at the end of the day it's in TP. So I have some trades like that very well. And this one I had a very full TP on this, and this is the reach word of 1 to 9. So that's a very nice one. And immediately price even hit our TP. It was the reversal was massive. The reversal was massive. And when the reversal was going, so let's see we swept above this a little bit. So anytime you see price kind of selling or buying and the app is slightly closing above it and immediately price went down below it, what price is trying to signify there was is trend is about to change. And this area here was the last low you could count here. So this was the last low. So I'm going to mark out these like this. All right, and price was set below it. After when price set below that low, so what we want to start waiting for was is our entry criteria. But before the entry criteria, actually, if you are to use the internal liquidity, because you know there's external structure and internal structure. So the internal structure was this one, this one, this one. After we said below it, so come down here, kind of rejected the stops below here. So which is telling us that so from this internal liquidity, if I'm to trade off this internal liquidity, I have this evening star candlestick pattern that formed here. So you can see this is a vista characteristic pattern here. So you see this guy engulfed below it. So and anytime I tell you that it's engulfed below it, so the strategies change a little bit, which is just going to mark it from the eye here to the open of the candle, then like this. So if I buy the candle open here, the candle close here. So let's go to mark it out like this. And what happened? So now let's see if you don't actually understand the anatomy behind this evening and the moisture and stuff pattern actually means a lot of entry. So let's see, you didn't know that if you close above, you just mark it from the open of this candle here, then you are just marking only the risk, maybe just the way we should mark this other block. So you can see that here you'll have missed your entry. So it's like a few pips to the entry and price left off. So you see it. But once you understand these dynamics, you are going to catch a lot of trades. All right, you're going to catch a lot of trades. So and this we have it here, and I'm just going to put my. So we're going to put a sell order here. We have some liquidity here in this month, so which make the POI very, very valid and stop loss here. This kind of stop loss now, I'm not going to put it here. I'm going to put it at this side to be more protective because I could see a lot of wicks here. So I'm kind of more conservative sometimes when I see something like that. And where down target, I don't target this low here. That's where I don't target. I don't target that low. That was the last swing that break this guy before market change immediately. So price might actually approach that same area, use the liquidity and continue up. So that's what I'm going to target. And I have a use order to 4.7 on that, and boom, I have a full TP on that. So after I hit my full TP, so let's see, was there any other confirmation entry again? We didn't have any. So I'm just using the candlestick pattern morning star and the evening star in this scenario. So we didn't have any. And so anywhere I see the morning star and the evening star, that's where I'm more interested showing you guys. So you can see we add one here again. But this area here is kind of an overbought area. So I might not really be convenient taking this kind of trade. So um so let's see, market gap up. So market gap up here. And we add this actually more instant if it's back in the same pattern, right? So you can see this one massive engulfing above it, right? Massive engulfing, massive engulfing. So what you want to do is the open to the low here, and price did wicked here. Very few pips, like few pips to tap into it and zoom off. Few pips to tap into it and zoom off. That also have been a very painful trade anyway. So because it was on a very valid PO high, so you could see so they were on a very valid zone. Probably just filled this gap that was here and went up, swept this liquidity, tapped down back there. That is just it. Anyways, that's just it, guys. So you can backtest, check for it, check for it. It's a very active strategy. It's a very active candlestick pattern you can actually use to trade. Remember when I talked about the last candlestick pattern and the video actually did very well as well. We got a lot of testimony from that. So you can actually backtest this one too and trade it in the live markets and also come back to thanks me later. And I'll be dropping more video, educating video on this channel, talking about more strategy, very simple strategy, not complex strategy you can actually just see and point it out, oh, this is what is happening, and the trade of it and made a lot of money for yourself. All right. And before then, I catch you on the next video. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel and drop a like. I catch you in the next one. Peace out.